Oh.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Deshay Renee Motley.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast Live. Are you in need of HVAC? One might be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing John Hohensee and Julius Menashe with Vibrant Mechanical. John and Julius, how's it going?
It's going great. Good morning.
We're excited to learn all about you guys and your business. So tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
So we're with Vibrant Mechanical. We're a full service family owned HVAC business. We do residential and commercial service.
Okay, that's a great introduction. I am curious, how did it all get started for you guys?
So it all got started kind of the way that I got in the industry is almost the same way as everybody else does, right? You start in the industry. I've been in the industry for 18 years, right? So when you're in the industry for that long, you get to see how things go in. I've done everything from commercial, large scale commercial projects, all the way to smaller residential projects. And so along the way, I learned how to do things the right way. And that's what we pride ourselves in doing in every home and every commercial business.
I love hearing the stories behind successful businesses. So let's talk about something people may not realize. What's one thing people often get wrong about your industry?
Yes, I'll take the question. So there are a couple of misconceptions that we hear pretty often. The first one being that bigger air conditioner is always better. So a lot of people think that the largest unit they can, it will cool the house faster and handle the heat better. In reality, an oversized system will short cycle, which is sending off on too quickly. So it doesn't humidify the air properly, which is one of the things air conditioning does. So you end up having a house that feels cool, but also clammy, sticky, which is horrible. And here's the kicker. The equipment wears out faster because of it. So proper sizing, quality install at more than adequate capacity, which is why we do the calculations on each and every install. Another common misconception is that you only need an air conditioning company with some breaks. You need to install something. Skipping regular maintenance is one of the quickest ways to small issue into failure. And these failures most commonly occur in the system. Also, in addition to your manufacturer warranty that you've got on the system, and that's a big reason from our elite plan. So the system stays efficient, lasts longer, more problems get solved early, and homeowners aren't left dealing with emergency repairs when it's 100 degrees outside and everyone wants their repair.
I appreciate you clearing that up. Now, let's talk about the people you serve. Who benefits most from what you offer?
That's a good question. Who benefits most? I would say people often who have trust issues, we come in and evaluate the system from top to bottom, and we only offer the services that we believe are absolutely required by that homeowner at that moment in time. We will also offer them add-ons which would extend the life of the internet. So the focus and goal of this is to ensure that the customer feels that they're getting the appropriate value, that they're not being oversold, and that they know that we're trying to invest with them. It's all about trust in our industry, and that's something we really focus on.
Sounds like you've built some great relationships with your customers. I want to ask you something a little different now. Have you ever considered starting a podcast for your business?
John, why didn't you know that?
Sorry about that. Definitely muted. As you can see from me not turning on the mic, I haven't thought about starting a podcast for our business at all.
Yes, that is a little bit different. So if you did have one, what would you guys talk about?
If we did have one, we would talk about the very issue we're talking about here. Right? We would be trying to do some events. We would be trying to show and demonstrate, and then we would also try to get customers so that they understand the benefits of things, they understand the benefits of a good install, and they understand what the various different options that they have versus a single-stage system versus a multi-stage system or an inverted system. These things can have a big impact on energy costs, system lifespan, and also keeping the customer cool and comfortable for the brutal in some summers.
Absolutely. Definitely a valuable takeaway there. Now, let's step away from business for a moment so our listeners can get to know you guys a little better. When you guys aren't working, what do you enjoy doing?
So when I'm not just grinding it out, it is summertime, right? So it's when we hit summertime, it's 7 days a week. But when we start calming down a little bit from servicing air conditioners, I basically put all my time towards my wife and my kids. We do a lot of outdoor activities. Basically, almost all of them are outdoor. We love the outdoors. And so when I'm not doing that, you can just kind of catch me on the water fishing. That's one of my favorite hobbies to do.
Yeah, and then for me, again, like John said, we work, especially during the summer, feels like 24/7. And when we're not working, I like to spend some time in the gym, and then the balance of all the rest of the time that's available gets spent hanging with my wife and kids. And then I have one weird hobby on the side as well. I like growing into hot peppers, and so I love that hobby because it's not really fun. It wouldn't be fun for most people, but it completely clears your mind and also your gut. So.
Those are all very lovely things. It's always great hearing the person behind the business. So before we wrap up, I do have one last question for you guys. If listeners remember just one thing about Vibrant Mechanical, what would you guys want it to be?
Just one. I'll take this question. So we live and work in the same community we serve, and so we treat every job like it's either's house or my mom's house, right? And that changes the way we make recommendations and the way we stand in our power and the kind of long-term relationships that we try to build with every customer. We're not trying to be the biggest company system. We're just trying to be the people trust, which is why at Vibrant Mechanical we voted a top 3 company by the business for the last 2 years. Something I think we're extremely proud of.
Well, John and Julius, please tell our listeners what the best way is to connect with you guys and learn more about Vibrant Mechanical.
So they can either visit our website at vibrantmechanical.com. On the website, we have a chat box if you have any questions. We also do free estimates through our website. You can also call if you want to book an appointment. You can also call 281-436-9758. When you are calling, you're going to get somebody with the company. We don't use call centers or anything else, so we're able to answer a lot of questions when people call that a lot of companies can't.
Wonderful. Well, Julius and John, I really appreciate you guys being on the show. We wish you guys and the business the best moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnphouston.com. That's gnphouston.com. Or call 346-643-4871.